as I look at like student ministry, one of my biggest problems in student ministry was like it just being all on me, my shoulders. And so I actually have probably 2 guys that are interested in coming in, and not necessarily as a like small group leaders, although they could transition into that. But I'm talking to them about like we need an environment that is attractional. So they're going to kind of be the team to create like the event or that type of thing to build that community outside of just small groups, where I can focus on small groups and let them, hey, run this event for us that they'll want to bring their friends to that. And so just started those conversations. But it's
this
exciting.
high school or junior high? Or
this would be for high school.
High school.
Yeah.
We're going to be sharing some stuff later that may be a little bit of a for you.
So yep. And Fuse, I think, is with Steve. I mean, every week we're getting like we're heading in the right direction, which is exciting there too. So
Yeah, good stuff there. Cool.
Jordan.
Yeah, a couple things going on. I just started First Service Fuse yesterday in Hannibal. Decent turnout, but saw like a lot of potential there. I think that number can be up at 20 for First Service Fuse after just watching 1 week and seeing kind of what's there. So that was really exciting. A really good night in student ministry. I've been talking like how like a lot of student ministry nights like feel really good, right? But my numbers I haven't seen the spike or increase, and we increased quite a bit last night, and it was just a good energy, good vibe, good. I just all the way across the board. I felt really good about it. I know the students did too, so that was awesome. I pulled in somebody. I don't know if any of you guys do this at all, but at the beginning of the year I pulled in a new leader. But kind of what I'm having him do is just really hold me to a high standard. Like as far as, hey man, this is my vision, this is my dream, this is what I want happening. And then we had a meeting on Thursday, like halfway through the year, right? And just said, okay, like what are we doing really well? What are we not doing well? What areas do I need to improve? We need to improve. Like just had him basically function in a Sunny type capacity because he's able to be there every week. And that was really beneficial just to have somebody kind of overseeing you, mentoring you, who's seen a lot of different stuff, who's been around for a while. So if you guys don't do that, I would definitely suggest doing that. And just a lot of ideas about the future. And then our students, you could tell like the students are catching, like it's catching really good. So yeah, it was a really good night last night.
Yeah, if you're free from 4 to 6 o'clock or whatever, you want to take a little cruise over to Hannibal. What they're doing there is really good.
Did you see kids at 9 o'clock that you don't typically see?
That's why I started it. Yeah, so like a lot of kids that I haven't seen in a long time, because the parents in particular came.
Did you guys announce it from stage?
They did not, which is frustrating, but I'll get them to do that.
Is it added on, or did you move?
Addition. I'm always adding. Never. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does a Wednesday night Fuse as well.
Yeah, we
still.
go ham. But it's really good. Each Fuse is so different, like drastically different. So like Wednesday's totally an outreach ministry. So we got a lot of kids that bring themselves. Parents aren't involved in our church at all, which is really cool to see, but a lot of brokenness. And so like that one, messages aren't XP3, they're different for a particular reason because we're trying to reach them where they're at. And then started First Service Fuse because 2 reasons. One, I'm there and I might as well be doing ministry in my opinion, and it'll allow me to get more people involved. But secondly, and the more important one, is parents don't commit to anything. You guys know this. They don't commit to anything, so they show up when they want to. And so by adding First Service Fuse, for us it makes sense. For not every campus it would make sense, but for us it makes sense. And I like to do the work, and I like seeing the kids. So that's what it's all about.
Is that and you still do second service Fuse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that at some of the campuses, maybe not all, if we did first and second service Fuse, our numbers would.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be reaching more kids, and probably should say this year, 1 month from now, every campus, we're gonna have it.
Please don't do that, Sonny.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But,
But for us, it makes sense, and it's really good. So, yeah, that's all I got. That's it, Jason. Back to you.
Okay.
Yes, but it's-
We're gonna go, TJ.
Things are going good. I feel like I'm kind of building back up my worship team after losing a couple guys to develop, which is nice. I got a new family to start serving a little bit ago, and they're just rock stars, like just bought in. Mom and dad serve together. Their daughter's infused. They have a son in kids ministry, and they're just at everything I ask them to be at, which is awesome. One thing that is kind of a setback, or I guess just want to get your guys' thoughts on. I got an email from a parent yesterday, and yeah, it's a good start. She said that her daughter said that her small group leader, who's a high school student, cussed in small group, which then gave another student the confidence to cuss in small group and was not reprimanded. So obviously something I'm going to have to deal with. But how would you guys deal with that?
What's the cuss word?
I don't know. She didn't specify.
Say that again. So middle school student cussed in a small group.
Small group leader
Small group,
cussed
high school
in-
student, small group leader cussed in small group,
Yeah.
which then gave a middle school student who was in the small group the confidence to cuss, and it was not corrected.
Oh.
Like was it crap? Or you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
I don't. I think from like the. I don't think so. Just from like no. I mean, I'm just assuming that based on the family and stuff. I don't think so. But that would be, I guess, good information to find out.
yeah, as far as the mom, shoot her a note and thank her for bringing it to the attention. And,
Yeah, yeah,
We're,
well, she-
yeah.
we're dealing with it. And
Yeah,
other than
yeah,
that,
that's
it's meet with the high school guy and say, so what happened? And
That's what I told him.
yeah. And then the following week, the high school guy needs to say, hey, I messed up last week.
Sweet.
I can jump in on that if you want.
Does that sound right? I mean, that's.
Oh yeah. I
that's-
think
yeah.
if he did that, if that's what he did, it was a he or she.
It's a gal.
I think it's a gal. So if she did that, yeah, she needs to own that to the group.
Yeah.
And then for her and for everyone, and then they can move on. Because until they do that, they won't move forward.
Be a good time too to talk about like where her heart maybe is, and like, you know, not just the word that she used. She doesn't want to act like she's some, but maybe can help coach her in, you know, how's her
Right.
heart, how's her spirit.
And she helps with worship too, and so I'm like thinking like, you know, do I need to? I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I'm just thinking if we've got someone on stage that the kids are all seeing and looking up to, and now the small group leader, it really is the same role. So I don't know.
I think first, like, the defense of her, hearing her out first.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of times, like, for instance, camp this summer, Brett brought to attention, I think it was you, that one of your small group leaders overheard one of my leaders talking to the kids about sex. Did you bring that
I
up?
heard it.
Oh, you heard it, that's right.
It's about, yeah.
So I ended up having a conversation, and it wasn't anything, the only fault to the leader was he, like, didn't bring that conversation to me sooner.
Gotcha.
But the it wasn't exactly like what Brett heard. So like hearing him out, it was like, all right, it changed my conversation with him than what I thought I was going to be like having with him when I went to him.
Yeah. So I mean, I think she's gonna come in tomorrow afternoon, so I'll be able to speak with her and see what actually happened.
Does she know why she's coming in, or she just usually come in?
I don't think she. No, I don't think she
started a
knows.
whole, now I remember, it started a whole new thing. I had to call parents.
Sweet. But yeah, that's it for me. Things are going good.
On the way
I got high school leaders infused that their Snapchat stories and stuff are just junk sometimes, but I offer a lot of grace in that too. I talked to them about like, you guys, you know, you guys are doing things that I know about, but we all got junk. But as long as we're trying, because I'm like, but it also depends on where your kids are at that are hearing it. Because my kids could, I mean, it's like could be commonplace stuff. It's just how sensitive is the group, maybe. Which is could be a weird way to look at it. But I got an example for that later. Where's my turn?
actually does, I think it does a huge service to their group and to your group as a whole to see her still be there and still in it, but also own it.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's, like, I think that's if that's what Jesus would do, I think. For now. Is this the first time she's ever done like that, or is this a behavior?
First time.
Wow.
Could have been crap. Let's see if it was crap.
What? I don't know, it might not be it.
No, but that, I didn't even think about that. Like, she could have said, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Or something that a kid isn't allowed to say at their home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like what?
In that case, I'd probably say stuff on stage.
I also need to talk to you, TJ.
But also
about
find out
something you
what
said in
the
your
other
message last week.
Yep.
Yep.
No, it's going well when you get calls about what you said in the message.
All right.
Adam,
Let's see. I don't know really what I have to report a lot about. Let's see. I guess it's not really a thing to report, but I'm still struggling to find leaders for Fuse. I have one couple that's really wanting to do it, but the husband of this couple is waiting to get his new job and look for a schedule kind of deal. He's trying to get out of the Pittsfield Police Department. So he's a cop, so he can intimidate people. It's good. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, he's really, him and his wife really want to do it, but I don't know what his schedule's going to look like. And then as far as, I have 2 other Fuse leaders that are really, they're slowly stepping up, I guess, but they're not like buying into it like I'm kind of wanting them to. I'm having a meeting with one of them in a week or so, kind of talk to her about it, kind of like, where's your heart at? And I've asked other people too, and I don't know, maybe it's just a Pike County thing, but people just don't want to serve, they just want to come. If they're not already doing something, it's hard for them to get to do new things. If they're not already, it's kind of weird. It's I don't know, it's a cultural thing. When I was at Assembly at Pittsfield too, it was the same way. You know, you had your people who served, and then you had everybody else who just came to church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to come and take a bite off what they heard and then go home with it and not, you know, use what they learned. So yeah, I guess my thing is just kind of be in prayer for me to help me get the leaders I need, because I don't want to just get anybody. I want to get the people that are that buy into the idea of what we're doing and why we do it, and have a heart for it, because always talk about this, Sonny. I have one leader who, she's been there for a long time, but can't really tell if her heart's really in it. Her son was infused, but now he's in high school, so I don't know if that's the thing too, you know what I mean, that transition. It's like, well, my kid's not in here now, so I'm not really bought in like I was, not before, like I was maybe before. I mean, I don't know, because I wasn't in there back then, but yeah, I just, I need to build my team. I want to have, I was planning on already having it where I wanted it, but it's just not going as quick as possible as I would like it to be, so yeah. That's all I got right now, I guess.
I would suggest picking out one of these guys and talking to them about X, Y, and Z, and they'll give you some good insight on how to do that. The tack to take, the conversation to have,
Yeah.
what it takes to build a team. So
Yeah, and like, I remember how it was when I first started in Hannibal. And
Mhm.
basically like the whole team was like a completely rebuilt. And it was definitely frustrating early on. Like, and I'm sure everybody's faced it, right? Like where you need people, right? But there's just like trusting the guy's gonna bring them and knowing that, and just being diligent too on your end with seeking out certain people and meeting with them and going the extra mile. Yeah, there's no like, we couldn't tell you anything that would just like instantly solve everything, but I think most of us have been through that.
and planting Keokuk, I would say, I think there was a season for warm bodies. Like, hey, we had to survive, so warm bodies were there, and then like looking 5 years later,
Yeah.
they're not there anymore. But
And this kind of emphasizes I think the importance of your search. Is I've seen in my ministry that usually your infrastructure leader will determine the size of flock that you can handle. So however many shepherds you have, there's a certain amount of flock that you can tend to, that you can reach well. and I've had moments, used a lot of time in prayer, looking for specific people. It was a cool moment several years ago that I had 2 leaders talk to me at church that morning and say, hey, we're in, I know you've asked us, and pray about it. And then that day I had like 4 kids, I had no idea who they were, contacting me and say, hey, I want to get into a small group. So it's kind of this whole idea of like, when you have put your shepherds in place, then your flock will come.
Yeah.
But if you are inept and not set up to have shepherds reach your flock, why would God bring a flock to you? And so that's where I know you're saying, hey, I need leaders, I want leaders, but that's kind of emphasizing the importance of what I've learned. It's like, hey, if we're sitting there seeking growth and wanting growth, and if we're not ready to handle them, we're not ready to reach them, the flock may never come.
Right.
And so that's one thing that I'm really looking at leaders that I kind of a weight that I kind of carry with me.
The man who hates worship, money.
Should be a lot to God speaks to you about worship. It's great. Just don't like leading it. Fuse has been doing really well, which is kind of really neat. Our 6th grade girls group has like just been blowing up, and I've probably talked about them a lot. But this last week, I think we had 22, and Thursdays. Last 2 years when we didn't have Fuse pick up after school, we'd have like 6 to 9, 4 to 9. Now we're about 15 even without pickup, and 15 to 20 with picking on the kids. Like, and it's a lot, just a huge 6th grade group. So these 6th grade girls are really just having fun together, I'm probably allowing that more so too, infuse like their worship, or just times allow them to be goofy and just be themselves, versus being like, hey, you need to be quiet and like respectful stuff. So it's more me offering more grace and stuff and freedom for them, which is probably good, but the group is just, they're fun. Girls are fun, so they have a lot of fun together. They keep bringing their friends, and it's neat. It's also Dalton's been leading it. He's been a part for a while, and then these other high school kids. So last month or so, I've just kind of been in there, seeing how things are going. And I've had to deal with other stuff, so like they've just been running with it and doing good. They care about the kids when they're there. Now the high schoolers, they don't represent well outside of that, but they're learning. So group was good. Fuse has been good, which has just been neat. So. But we also had a first this last Thursday. For me, I've had students just cuss at me and tell me all sorts of stuff, and like 5th graders or whatever and stuff, and I'm just like, whatever, they come from craziness. But this was the first I had a kid destroy my office on Thursday, so I would like Dalton come down and say, hey, you need to come deal with this. And go up there, and my office is just like, everything's like throwing down and around. What the heck? So I go to this kid, and I actually had to he didn't want a response. He started fighting me, or pulling away, so I just well, okay, I held on to him more. And then he started swinging and stuff, so I just wrapped him up. Then he started kicking, so I just picked him up and put him on the ground. And I was like, dude, what's going on? And yelling all sorts of stuff, cussing, just all sorts of, whatever you could think of. He's a 7th grader. And so then his older siblings were downstairs, and the family was just kind of all weird. They've broken our windows and different things, so. But they keep coming around, so I'm just like, they whine about doing stuff, but they're always there. So I'm like, they're getting something. But I yell at his brothers to come upstairs, and they're like, dude, what are you doing? And they're just cussing at each other, telling him to stop. And the whole time, I got 2 other small groups going on with the 6th grade girls downstairs and other girl groups downstairs, and other guys groups across the offices. And I'm just thinking, I was like, man, they're all like, this is kind of weird. But none of them were like, I've never heard that stuff before. So I'm just sitting there and holding this kid this is just, it's interesting, But I told the kid too, he eventually came up and I had to give him he had come up and apologize that his older cousins, like a girl, was kind of making him, but I was telling him, you know why I held you? or why I put you on the ground, and just talking about this stuff. And I was like, was any of that out of anger in me? And it's just all different world than they've seen. Trying to get them to see that it's a lot of love and care for them and stuff. But it was the first time I walked in my office and it was trashed. And it's like, or else then him going back in there and like him trashing things in front of me. I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I gotta wrap you up. I don't know. So they didn't break anything, so that was good. But that was the first. That was fun. But he's gone for 2 weeks. His little brother, I had told him he couldn't come for 4 weeks. He told me that he's gonna have his dad break my legs and gouge him out my eyes and all sorts of stuff. He's like, okay, cool.
Dang.
Just like listing all this stuff. So I was like,
Dang.
well, so I
I
gave
thought Hannibal's rough.
Yeah, been to the south side. Come on.
I gave my card and said, here's my number. So, because he said that he's going to have his dad beat up one of my leaders. I was like, well, here's my card, here's my number, have him come to my house. And then he's like, Todd, and he's a 5th grader. So, but that night I went to his house and showed up and I was like, hey, your son told me that you're going to beat me up. And he's just like, and stuff. But I seen him sitting on the couch and he's sitting there pouting at home and his parents are yelling at him and just nothing. So it's cool. So he's going a different life. He's come hang out with me on Thursday nights and you just see stuff. But that, like, it doesn't freak me out anymore, which I was like, when I did Elevate back in the day and I'd have kids yelling and cussing and stuff, like, watch your language. And I'm like, our world is so different. The kids that come to those events are so different that I'm just like, and when I've been going to their houses, they're just, I'm like, you're fighting. I mean, this is insane. These same kids, they about got into it with a neighbor lady one time. I come by and they're playing basketball and the cop showed up because they're playing on the neighbor lady's hoop, but then she doesn't want to play on it anymore. So then he came over and we're talking with him and the kids, and he's like, you know, these kids are like, yeah. So talk with them and they're not showing him any respect, so I'm trying to deal with that, you know, just stuff later. Well, then this neighbor lady comes back and she's like, hey, these kids are playing on my hoop and I don't want that anymore. And there's like 9 of them, so then this little 4th grade girl, she's like, you're a racist. And my neighbor lady just chimes in and she's like, I ain't no racist, like, so I want my husband black, and then starts calling them niggers and like stuff, and then these kids start shouting back, and then they all start getting all like, what? I'm just like, get over here! And just tell them to come back, and she's yelling from across the block, and I'm just like, huh. And I got 2 of the older boys who used to break stuff and kind of be more reasonable, and it's just different, but they keep coming around. So back in the day, I would have been, get out of here, but now I'm just like, you see the brokenness, so your heart just goes out for them more, and I'm like, keep bringing it. So we'll see. But if she's getting in that realm, I get to deal with that stuff, which I don't mind at all, because I get to go to their houses too and show up, and they're just like,
It's good that you did that.
they're just like, that one night I went to the house and the one kid's telling his aunt that I was going to beat up his dad. And I was like, oh, really? And then he shut up when I showed up, coming in the door, and then his aunt was like, what'd you just say? You were just saying this a minute ago? Say it again, he's right there. Like, and it's just a different world, so. But they trust me, though, I think, which is cool. So, Fuse is interesting. Senior high, we haven't met all December. Through our schedule with India and different things and Christmas Eve and stuff. So we met last night and we're consistently having like 8 to 12 show up, sometimes 15 to 18, just at our house. And I was trying to get leaders, but one of our guys he's kind of bailed out. But I got a girl that said she started this year and she's like, no, I'm committed to you guys, and the other kids are like happy about that and stuff like. So it's just kind of taking time, but the kids had a good group with them. They're healthy. You had asked last week about how they are serving in ministry, and I said like a month ago maybe, I was like 40%. Well, then I got looking at that, and I was like, we're probably, most of our kids I'm finding are serving because they don't necessarily have a place, which is probably the model that we wanted like 2 years ago. But I'm finding that because they don't have a place to gather, they're not necessarily going to church, but they're serving. because they don't want to sit in church
Mhm.
somewhat. So then they're hopping in wherever. So I'm like, I don't know how bad that is.
Got it.
I'm just kind of going with a lot of things right now. So,
Cool.
but it seems all right.
You know, Monty, when you were talking about the kid destroying your office and you were holding him, you know that boy did not experience more love in that day than the moment in which you were holding him.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Like that was more love than he probably experienced this entire week.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't understand it yet, but that's it's good work, Monty. That's
Mhm.
awesome.
I want to hear another story.
Yeah, I'm like, let's hear more.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
more
We'll
later.
have some more story time at the end. You can make some notes and write
Yeah.
down some.
Did he use
good-
the word crap? Like, was that the cuss word that time?
He wish.
That's what he has to say when he retells the story.
I don't even know if they recall everything he was saying. I'm just sitting there like, huh. All right.
Okay.
Not whatever, not but not least or whatever. Josh. Whatever.
Did Brett go?
Oh, Brett didn't go? All right, Josh.
Alright. Did I tell you guys about the small group that's meeting at Q Dance? Dance small group.
Yeah.
And then I thought I did, but it's been cool seeing the longevity of that. Two of those girls, man, her mom, she came the 1 week, then her mom came the second week, and then her mom and her dad came the third week, and they've been there every single week, and it's been really cool seeing their involvement and them instantly like just grabbing hold of it. They always come in with the One Mission Cafe smoothies and all that stuff. They're seeing that they are in it, and then having this family series is just like awesome for that. So that's been a huge win. The other side of that group split. It was two leaders reaching a group of girls. All of the girls were part of Q Dance, with the exception of one who was kind of toxic. So they split, and then the other girls just joined the Q Dance small group, and the other leader is a teacher in Liberty, and I've been trying to get a small group started in Liberty for 2-3 years. And so she's finally invested in the girls there, into Liberty, and it's gonna be nice, because we're gonna have like, I don't know, I think 6 girls from Liberty go into Encounter from her small group. It's just like huge, like, all right, we're finally seeing fruit in there. So it's just cool seeing them pockets in those groups of finding your leaders, putting them in the right places. And so their group, when they met together, was really strong, was a really good group. But now that they have kind of went to where they feel their hearts being pulled, it's like the fruit's expounding, which is just like, it's awesome to see. And the other win is we have finally locked in a speaker for student camp. So we have Gerald Fadiami for student camp, who's going to be our speaker. So you guys have heard him at Orange. He speaks at Big Stuff. He speaks at all the Elevation Youth stuff. He is, I think he may speak at the Gauntlet. I'm not sure for New Spring. But I know he is a very prominent high school speaker right now. He is a youth pastor at North Point, I think Brownsburg, I think is the campus he is a youth pastor in. So we should have another very high caliber speaker for student camp. So that's another win, celebration. We got that. He originally said no, and then I got an email saying that he was available again. So we're like, so we locked him in.
Jared, what?
Gerald Fadiami. Gerald with the G, then Fadayomi. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I need to probably research how to say Fadiami.
Something like that.
Just say it fast and I'll be good.
That's what I used to do in Spanish class. You just
Yeah,
sit there
right.
as fast as I could and be like,
And mumble
"Yep."
a little.
Yeah. Mom will say it fast as I can.
Yeah, right.
That's great.
Cool.
So yeah, there's the quick stuff.
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Show
it's more
us
like
how it is.
I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
listen.
Okay.
This
He'll be
is
awesome.
This is your student.
Can't see it, glare.
That's good.
And he his book right now is all about how to send out seniors and student ministers. That's like his book he's promoting right now. But UCF Orange talked about kids just want to be heard.
Yeah, that's like the best thing you can do rather than talking. Just listen.
And what was his? And I think he had a personal story with that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
But so yeah, he's I think he'll be. I think student camp will be balling again, just because we have
It'll be really good.
we have K-Lock on worship again, and we have Gerald speaking. So
Yeah.
I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Good.
Brett?
Yeah. Hey, this will be my last student meeting. I'll be transitioning to a different role at our campus. You know, that's for the last 3.5 years, I have worn a different hat every season. It feels like it's been something. I asked months ago that I'd like to stop doing that sometime. So what I've been doing is I've been doing like our community outreach / student ministry / whatever. I'm just like, I was like, my request is at some point I'd like to just stop doing that. There's just been so much, and so I did not expect there to be a movement really quickly. It was just something I asked a while back, and so, but yeah, at the end of January after Encounter, I'll no longer be on the student team. I'll be working solely with our community stuff and with our groups at our church or our campus and adults and things like that. I have no clue what Kirksville's doing student-wise right now. I know that I'm still doing high school groups, and I'm still helping. We have some fuse leaders. We actually had a super high caliber leader. I've been praying for this because I'm not sure if. I've been praying for people. We had a super high caliber leader that used to serve in Clubhouse. He quit working in Clubhouse and wanted to step back. He just messaged me on Blue, so I'd like to serve in Fuse. I'd like to be helping in Fuse.
Who's that?
His name's Tristan Daniels. He would instantly be the best difference maker in Fuse. He led our clubhouse for a while. He's incredible. He's a junior high teacher. He's 25. It's something. He has his passion. He's a single dude. It's a good thing. So for this semester, we'll be figuring all that out. So yeah, that'll be different. I'm listening to you talk about camp. Like, I'm kind of sad. Although I told Sonny, my wife and I. We will be available to help with camp in some way. I don't think we're going to leave. It wouldn't feel good. We're already getting smaller as a complete family team. I don't know if it's a good idea that we just not come in 4 weeks of camp, but a week or two maybe. But
You want to commit to 6,
9.
7?
we're gonna hard pass. Take advantage of some of this transition. Hey, so for the last 3+ years, you know, a lot of you guys have been ministry family to me. That doesn't change, of course, but it will a little bit. I think that's the most difficult thing. I think our campus is in kind of a unique spot, just in general. Not sure what to think. Like, we just need to breathe, and I'm hoping that God will do His thing. It's been my hope the whole time, and that I'll be super wise, best I can be, and do that. But it has been it's been a privilege to call you friends, and still will be. But to work with you, plan with you, labor with you, play and have fun together. All things which I hope we continue to do, but just not on a regular. But that's been the big thing. You know, the other big thing is the day that I found out I had a different role. My mom passed away, and you know, that's been a really hard thing. It's been a lot harder for me than I thought. I've been navigating grief in a new way. Wasn't super close with her, but my mother died of an overdose, drug overdose, and we got that. We got the for sure yesterday from the medical report, and that was really hard too. It was a big day. It was a big day. It was hard. And so that's actually kind of grounded me for like the last 2 weeks. Like I felt like I've been in a standstill. I'm just working through some of that. That's been hard, but it's looking forward to the future. I look forward to Encounter. A couple of days back, I was doing some more work on Encounter and going over the themes. Andre sent an exhaustive, great list of stuff to me, which was like that. It's a huge help. But I'm actually super stoked for Encounter. Now, if I can just get my kids to actually go online and sign up, that would be handy. I'll have to probably sign them up myself, but that'll be bad. But looking forward to our last hurrah with the guys, and we'll see how things go. I think that's enough of that, though. Yeah.
Oh, but you're gonna be missed
Yeah.
in this circle.
Yeah, you bring a lot to the table and
Absolutely.
be a big loss for us.
Appreciate that, but
Thank God we don't have to miss you on the big circle.
no, yeah, no, we certainly love our church, and I love serving, and I certainly do love our community stuff we're doing. At our campus right now, that's where the traction is. I mean, that really is.
What community stuff are you?
So we've been doing community service projects on the side. We're getting groups set up. The community stuff, every community thing we've done, and it's been a lot behind the scenes. It has produced families. So, in fact, I'm seeing a ton more. So personally, I'm seeing a huge amount of people who we know in the community are starting to buy into some of this stuff. You know, just yesterday there's a town outside of Kirksville called La Plata, and I got to talk with their mayor, and so just organizing a service event there. And it's a way I'm trying to develop life groups too, is that instead of just starting a life group, what I want leaders to do a service project and invite people to do a service project with them. Do the service project, and before they do, they meet with, they go hang out, they have dinner a week before, the next week they do the service project, the next week they debrief and see if something organic happens out of that. Or if they just do it again in a month, say, hey, in a month you guys willing to do this? Yeah, hey, you gotta look, and we just keep multiplying that way. That has been bought in quick and heavy so far, and I'm seeing that, and that's something actually this semester with our high school students, with our leaders, that's what we're doing. We're just doing that. Hey, Blake and Ezra, they're a couple of our leaders. Locker room in our high schools need to be painted. They're going to provide the paint, but they're interested. Can you get a group together to do that? They will. It will be no problem. It'll be 10 times easier than trying to get a group to their house to hang out. It's crazy. But so for this semester, I'll be looking forward to seeing what our high school students do as far as group and service projects. But it's been good, and the return's been really nice, and the relationship's been good. So that part's been good.
Yeah, their college students aren't back yet, and yesterday's attendance was
Yeah, we were over 600.
670 something or whatever it had been 7, so they're working their way up to 900,000.
Wow.
So it's been a
900,000.
900,000. 900,000.
But no, it's that's right now in our campus. That's where the gas is, and that's where the fire is
Cool.
going. So it's good. Anyway,
Is that gonna involve? Is the sports complex still in progress?
yeah. So actually, they've been doing some work. They've got a lot of drywall put up. A while back, myself and another family in the church, we actually built a makeshift basketball court in the back. It's just a couple nice hoops with some gaffer's tape on the ground that's measured out pretty well, and it's not even a 3-point line. But right now we have 5 teams who are practicing back there, elementary teams. We've got And every team that practices back there has won a championship or gotten second place. So just saying that. Do that in the tournament.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, we're certainly doing stuff back there, even though it's not outfitted or anything. And when we get outfitted more and more, that'll certainly be, our community is clamoring for, especially with basketball, and basketball's huge, and there's nowhere to do anything. And so, if we wanted to right now, I could say we're gonna have a basketball tournament at Kirksville with our makeshift gaffers tape basketball courts, and it would fill up. There'd be no problem. Like, it's just like wrestling and basketball, kind of football, not football, unfortunately, but wrestling, basketball, and baseball are kind of Kirksville's things. Are all in on those sports, and so there's just nowhere to play basketball and to do a lot of tournaments and leagues. So, but yeah, that's going good so far.
Go.
That it? We got everybody.
Okay. Good job.